Hi, and welcome to Wednesday's show. As always, thrilled to have you spending a little time out of your evening with me. So, some similarities. Not the same. What we have seen today, the rains before, the snow looming, similar in that context, but not the same to the extent. However, snow totals have been jumping a bit back and forth, anywhere from 1 to 2 to 2 to 5, and we'll pinpoint that for you to the best of our ability. I will in just a few moments, as we are still looking at some snow, another round, and some Arctic air behind this. Again, similarities in your forecast. Right now, the weekend looking calm and dry, low to mid-30s with some sunshine, but not calm and dry before we get there. Winter weather advisory in effect from 9 o'clock tonight till right now 10 o'clock in the morning. Headlines tonight forthcoming here in just a few moments locally. Looking elsewhere, though, a tragedy coming out of Moorhead. We knew just limited information I did at this time last evening in regards to a structure fire, which at that time we believe claimed one life in Moorhead. However, it's now been discovered that those two deaths that were reported late last evening were actually in young men, two teenagers who lost their lives in a structure fire yesterday morning off of Pretty Ridge Road in Moorhead. The coroner, John Northcutt, has confirmed to media outlets that 18-year-old Charles, known as Charlie Meade, and 17-year-old Deegan Bean of Carter County passed away of smoke inhalation right now, per preliminary autopsy reports. Bean, a senior who was attending West Carter High School. As for the structure, it was next to a camper, outbuilding of sorts, if you will, that belonged to the family of Meade. Meade lived there, at least, and Bean was a friend who was staying with him at the time. As for the cause of the fire, it's still under investigation by the Kentucky State Police. They've already stated, however, as they did last evening, that no foul play is suspected at this time. But the fire had completely engulfed the structure yesterday morning by about 7 o'clock when neighbors alerted 911 and the fire department, who found it indeed engulfed in flames upon their arrival. In other headlines, a Lawrence County man who was convicted months ago by a federal jury in Ashland on 11 counts of child pornography charges was officially sentenced yesterday. Those 11 charges break down to 5 counts of production of pornography involving a child or minor, 4 counts of receiving, 1 count of distribution, and 1 count of possession of a matter containing visual depictions of a minor engaging in sexually explicit conduct. 49-year-old Dale Allen Fraley was convicted months ago after just about 2 hours of deliberations following a three-day trial, during which there was evidence presented that indicated and confirmed that Fraley would go online to social media and create many fake pages, if you will, to induce, persuade, and coerce minors to many times engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing visual depictions of those acts. He, acting through those online personas, if you will, would even threaten minor females to engage in various sexual acts and to record that activity or send the images to him live via Skype or other popular social media platforms. He also persuaded those minors on a couple of occasions, or at least for more than one minor, to come to his home, sometimes at the behest of those online personas, to get sexual experience with Dale Fraley as a teacher. And he would sometimes record that sexual activity between himself and the minors at his home, or record the minors engaging in lewd and other acts by themselves. The FBI conducted the investigation, as did a number of other departments. He has appeared before U.S. District Judge David Bunning on yesterday, facing a maximum of 30 years in prison on each count of production and 20 years for each count of receipt and distribution, 10 years for the possession charge. He was officially sentenced to 57 years in federal prison as of yesterday. The charges reportedly involved young girls that he was abusing when they were around 14 years of age, and that there may have been more than a dozen young girls involved. Fraley created these fake pages, if you will, using pictures of other young boys or young adults in online accounts and then contacted the girls, luring them into romantic relationships and grooming them into sending him those sexually explicit videos and images. And on top of that, he threatened to send pictures of these kids to their family or friends or even colleges that they were looking at, even threatening these young girls with turning in their parents falsely for child abuse and having the young kids put in the foster system. And again, those being federal charges means there is no parole, which means that Fraley will have to serve at least 85% of those 57 years. A single car crash could have been much more than that this morning after 7 o'clock, around 7:30 or so, on the Mountain Parkway. The driver of the large SUV told authorities, even though he was unscathed, that he believed he fell asleep behind the wheel en route to Wolfe County. The young man from Pike County was traveling west on the Mountain Parkway right at, as you can see to the right of your screen, the 72 or Conley Farm exit. And while traveling west, he says he fell asleep, and that large SUV just drifted across out of his lane of travel and across the snow-covered median. And when it did, it collided with the end of the guardrail, sending it into a barrel roll and into the oncoming direction of travel, blocking, for the most part, both lanes. They were able to steer traffic around the vehicle onto the shoulder, but essentially landing completely broadsided across both lanes. Miraculously, given the fact, I'm sure largely due to the weather conditions, closings, and things of that nature, there was just lesser traffic on the Mountain Parkway this morning. And due to some very fortunate timing, no other vehicles were involved in this collision. As you can see, that's where the vehicle landed as a result. The young man was out upon arrival of emergency personnel, refused medical treatment at the scene, but was seriously and understandably shaken after the single-car collision. Coming up in just a few moments, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department assisted the Kentucky State Police and the DEA in raiding a physician's office in Paintsville. Those federal agencies possibly visiting another before they left Johnson County. I'll have that report in just a moment.
Appalachian Wireless has a plan to make your life simpler. Forward pay. No contract, no credit check, no problem. Plans start at just $19.99 a month and include unlimited talk and text. Add 3 gigabyte of data for only $29.99 a month. 6 gigabyte of data, $39.99. Or take it to the max with unlimited data plus, only $89.99, which has 50 gigabytes of high-speed data. All the features without the long-term commitment. It's forward pay because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Just like Christmas, it only happens one time of the year. And it's here, the annual half-off Christmas sale at the seasonal shop. That's right, everything in the store Christmas is half off. And everything clearance is marked down 70%. That's right, it only comes one time of year after Santa has come and gone. The annual half-off Christmas sale for a very limited time at the seasonal shop in downtown Sagersville. Not everything has changed over the years. Fraser's Prater Drugstore is still your most trusted pharmacy, where you can get your prescription brought to you curbside or make your way to the counter for a snack, lunch, or an incredibly sweet treat. And check out Strings and Things inside the shack, the Radio Shack, musical instruments, guns, ammo, electronics, and more. It's as wonderfully unique of a shopping experience as is the selection at Fraser's Prater Drugstore in downtown Sagersville. Do you really want to get caught in this again on those tires? Get there in one piece and save. Conley Tires got specials going on right now through the end of March, like $100, even $200 back on a set of Goodyears. And get those tires, brakes, service, whatever you need with 6 months no-interest financing. Conley Tire in Staffordsville or conleytire.net. Before we talk about state and local COVID numbers, let's talk about the nation as a whole. There are some parts of the United States where Specifically, Omicron cases are starting to go down. It has peaked. It has not peaked everywhere. It has not peaked in Kentucky as of yet. And we're starting to, of course, learn more about it as each day passes. We've known now for quite some time that the number of cases causing severe illness is much less than it is with the Delta variant, particularly if you've had both rounds of a vaccine and a booster, which gives you a really good shot at not getting seriously ill or dying as a result of COVID. But still, numbers continue to indicate that there is going to be much more to come. Many more people put in the hospital, many more to die as a result of, more than likely, Omicron. There are numbers that have been shared by the White House that indicate that there's another 1.5 million Americans to be hospitalized, with over 190,000 of them to die through mid-March. Omicron cases are expected to peak in early February. Some few places in the United States they are believed to be, but we are not in those, and most of the United States is not. We're still waiting to see those numbers start to go down in Kentucky, as another day well over the 10,000 mark was reported today. 12,583 cases today, 25 more deaths reported, and a positivity rating which indicates essentially 1 out of every 3 Kentuckians who are being tested continue to test positive for COVID and largely the Omicron variant. 12,583 cases today. People vaccinated across the Commonwealth is over the 2.8 million, comfortably at 2.8 million, plus 31,567. The Montgomery County Health Department is still taking appointments as they are weekly for the vaccine, as is the Johnson County Health Department, which has also been hosting walk-in clinics on most weeks. Do not have concrete numbers from the Montgomery County Health Department at this hour. I can tell you as of 3 o'clock they had another 28 cases today, and that number is going to be much higher when we get it for the entire day today in tomorrow's report. But I can tell you that this map is something to stare at and consider. There are only 9 counties out of the entire 120 in this map that are not in a 100 incident rate or higher, and the majority are in the 200s and 300s, and you've got some counties which are pushing 400. Montgomery County has gone up some today to 145.7. Johnson County is knocking on the door, one of those 9, below 100, but knocking on the door at 99.2. Floyd County, exactly the same as Montgomery at 145.7, but you've got Morgan nearly 190, and like I said, 100s, 200s, and 300s across the entire state of Kentucky. I also read earlier today that it's interesting to note that looking specifically at one Kentucky county, and that was Fayette County, the most recent data that the health department there has released says that over 75% of the approximate 135 patients hospitalized with COVID in Fayette County, 75% are unvaccinated. They have 26 in the ICU per the health department's report. 92% of those are unvaccinated. There are 14 people from Fayette County or in Fayette County hospitals on a ventilator, and 100% of those are unvaccinated. Let's switch gears. Let's go on to tonight's community calendar, which starts off with a birthday wish, and I like birthdays. Happy birthday, Sherry Arnett. Says this one, love your husband, your daughter, your mom, and a big long list of loving family and friends. Birthday wishes tonight to Sherry. That's Sherry Arnett. Happy birthday to you. A couple of announcements and changes per the weather, of course, mostly. First off, from the Montgomery County Senior Citizen Center, in lieu of the snow coming tonight, they have rescheduled commodities for next Thursday. That's next Thursday. We'll talk about that when the weather gets a little closer, see if they'll be able to make it happen then. But right now, commodities for the Montgomery County Senior Citizen Center set for next Thursday, the 27th. And in lieu of the weather, the Water into Wine Food Pantry, which had to close today, is also canceling their Senior Pantry Day for tomorrow. So bear with them all. It's the weather, and they can't do anything about it. Here's some opportunities for you. Job Corps is having a fair on the 26th from 10 till 3 at the KCC building in Prestonsburg. And the Kentucky Department of Corrections is hosting 2 job fairs on the 27th, one at KCC in Prestonsburg, the other one at the Pike County Public Library on Lee Avenue in Pikeville. And that's not the only opportunities out there. A few others if you're looking for employment or for training. There's never been a better time right now to find a job or training or both. Appalachian Platinum Tank is looking for people interested in training and working with them. Some welding experience is preferred, but it's not required. There's a deadline to apply for this round of recruits, January the 31st. To find out more, go to tinyurl.com/welding application. And CNC Robotics is training at eCami in Paintsville. That is coming up on February the 4th. Get an application there at ekcep.org/eCami 2022. I'll keep running this for you for the next few days. And I'm always running the calendar every weeknight, and I suppose you get about as tired of hearing it as I do saying it, but, housekeeping is just one of those things you got to do. When you've got an announcement, you want it heard, and that's birthdays and anniversaries. Tell me, and I so look forward to telling everyone about it, keeping everyone informed, and, of course, up to date on those special birthdays and anniversaries. Funeral services brought to you nightly by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. And tonight we have services which have been set for Saturday morning beginning at 11 for Pauline Cavens, who passed away on the 15th. She survived by her kids, Keith and Kenneth Cavens and Shante Wireman, 4 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. She was preceded in death by her parents, Steve and Alice Pinks, her husband, James Odell Cavens. And funeral services again start Saturday morning at 11 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation is Friday night from 6 until 9. And Jewel Arnett Pennington passed away on January the 18th, survived by her husband Marcus, daughter Sheila Patrick, son Randy Ty Pennington, her granddaughter Amanda Blake Salyers, and a great-granddaughter Lillian Jewel Salyers. She's preceded in death by a son, Davy Pennington, and 3 brothers. Services will begin Sunday morning at 11 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation Saturday evening at 6. Call the pros. All Pro Gutter Works specializes in seamless gutters, vinyl siding, metal roofing, replacement doors and windows, remodeling or adding on to your home with free and fair estimates backed by decades of happy and return customers with guaranteed satisfaction and 18 months 0% financing. All Pro Gutter Works. 349-9999.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
Whether the new year brings you new dreams or you're working towards the same ones, let Salyersville National Bank help you build, bank, or save for them. Salyersville National has been helping dreams come true since 1902. Give them a call at the main location, 349-3131, or the branch, 6121. Now, back to that raid that I mentioned a few moments ago that took place in Johnson County this morning. Earlier this morning, Lexington DEA office was assisted by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department in executing a search warrant here at Appalachian Family Medicine in Paintsville. Now, limited details are being given at this hour. I know that agents and deputies spent a considerable amount of time at this location. A statement from Johnson County Sheriff Doug Saylor simply says that due to the nature of the ongoing case, no specific information in addition to this is being released at this time. However, we think we'll be able to maybe gather a few more details for you on tomorrow's program as the investigation continues. I'm also trying to track down as to whether or not DEA and FBI agents left here and went to another location in the area. We'll have a follow-up on tomorrow night's program and try to gather more details again about the raid at Appalachian Family Medicine in Paintsville earlier this morning. And again, not just again making the statement again in tonight's broadcast, but again, literally another winter weather advisory is upon us. It officially goes into effect at 9 o'clock this evening, runs through 10 o'clock in the morning because of expected snowfall to follow the rain that has been falling in Sagersville, mostly since about 3:30 or so, I suppose. Right now, the most recent estimates, at least from the National Weather Service and models we're going to refer to tonight, put us at anywhere from 1 to 3 more inches of the white stuff. So here's a little visual for you. To the left, snowfall forecast. It's been updated, and that winter weather advisory covers us all. If you're watching this via Howard's or Foothills Communications, it covers you. And if you're watching on the internet and live essentially anywhere in eastern Kentucky, well, it covers you too. To the right of your screen, expected snowfall amounts, which were just updated again a short time ago. This map here from early this morning at about 11 o'clock with the update that I got just a few moments ago. Radar and computer still showing essentially the same, kind of a broad 1 to 4 inches for Magoffin and Johnson County during the overnight. Winter weather advisory doesn't go in effect until about 9 o'clock, but it lasts until 10 o'clock in the morning. So another few inches of snow staring at us. And more often than not, if you just play the odds, so to speak, getting a snowfall right after a rain is, not all that common. But we saw what happened just days ago, and while this scenario is not made up of the same factors, it's entirely a good chance that we'll see a good couple of inches out of this one. And fog tonight, and not your garden variety fog, dense freezing fog tonight after 1 a.m. So snow anywhere from 1 to 3 inches right now is a good number to put on it. And that snow lingering into your tomorrow morning, and lingering will be the Arctic air thereafter. So 30% chance of some snow up to about 8 o'clock, mostly cloudy, 23 degrees tomorrow at best. And you factor in a wind out of the north up to 16 miles per hour, puts a wind chill down into the upper teens. It'll finally start to calm down tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, and we're right at double digits at 10 degrees. While Friday, we add a degree or two on the top end at 25 for your daytime high. We're into the single digits for Friday night's low. Partly sunny during the day, maybe a few flurries Friday night. Temperatures get out of the 20s and into the low 30s on your Saturday, the first half of your weekend. 33 and 15, sunny and partly cloudy. The latter half of the best 2 days of the week. Sunday, 36 and 20, mostly sunny. Some clouds that night that aren't going to make any precipitation, snow, rain, or otherwise, and a very consistent 39 degrees thereafter. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, low to mid-20s across the board. We next see some light right now precipitation chances, rain, snow, and mixed from Tuesday into your Wednesday, and that could be the onset of another winter weather pattern. So, with that said, rain continuing right now over my shoulder and then changing to snow, adding up to maybe an inch to 2 or 3 or so tonight. And we'll see what it is when I see you back here. I did cover last night's Magoffin County Fiscal Court meeting. I will have coverage of that session on tomorrow night's program. It's been a very busy, productive, but busy day here, not just for the independent and for Your News Today, but for as well independent signs, all under one big roof. But making some big strides and some big improvements and adding some new services that we'll be talking about sooner than later. With that said, thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday and have a good night.